All right, back again, another message, and we're talking about why the narcissist feels entitled to your personal belongings, your friends, you know, your car, or whatever it may be. Why do they get that way? I've mentioned this in another video that narcissists, to a large degree, for the most part at least, whenever they're engaging or interacting with people, you're just merely an extension of them, right? So that means everything that you own and possess is also considered an extension of something of theirs. So if that be clothing, I've heard of people saying, the narcissist just feels entitled to just put on their clothes, wear their clothes, take their stuff, without asking. It's one thing, to share, but the entitlement goes a step further where they're just taking it up on themselves to basically, help themselves to what rightfully belongs to you. And will even have the nerve to get mad at you if you question them or oppose to it, right? So it's okay for them to just feel like, hey, I needed to use your car, so I just took your car. They didn't ask or anything, didn't see if you had anything to do with that or whatnot. It may have even been food. You may have put something up. They just took it upon themselves to maybe eat it or throw it away just because they felt like it wasn't supposed to be there. That entitlement, that feeling as though your needs, wants, desires, your boundaries do not need to be respected or acknowledged. Narcissists are habitual line crossers. And remember, they don't like to follow rules. They don't like to play by the guidelines. They're going to always step outside of that and push the envelope. And it's up to you to firmly remind them of that position and where they stand, because they will totally violate and take advantage of a situation that you don't correct properly. When you let it happen the first time, they just feel like, oh, this is just what it is. You may think it's cute at first, but trust me, it will spill into other areas that you are not okay with, that will cross the line of being flat out disrespectful, right? So there's a line to draw there. On the flip side, let that be you helping yourself to something that is theirs, and it's a problem. They're going to bring up, all types of things. You didn't ask them. You didn't know if they were going to use that for something. And this is where the selective amnesia kicks in for them, and the double standards, because narcissists are, notoriously known for double standards. And it's okay for them to do things, but if you turn around and do it to them, it's a big ordeal. And it's exaggerated and blown out 10 times by them. Right? They're going to play victim. They're going to act like it's the end of the world, right? When it comes to something you do to them. But here's the thing. That is because, and that should be a key indicator that you're dealing in a one-sided situation, an unbalanced type of connection or whatever that you're in. This don't even have to be an intimate partner relationships or anything like that. This could be friendships, family, whatever. Whenever there's an unbalance in that way, and the lack of being able to understand or empathize from the other person's shoes or perspective on how that would be if it were on the other side. If that person is not taking that into account, it's just like, oh, well, if I'm doing this, it's okay. They should be able to be understandable. Well, that means they should have the same mindset when it happens to them. But that's not the case. And I'm telling you, if you encounter anyone that plays the double standard game and feels entitled, get away from them as soon as possible. Yeah, that's going to be a rocky, one-sided, type of situation, relationship, whatever you want to call it. It's not going to be good. It's just not going to be good. And the thing is, when you do bring up, like I said, when you do bring it up, I mean, if it's on you and you do it to them, they're ready to take your head off. And if you have an excuse, they don't want to hear your excuse. It's all about them when something happens to them. You'll bring up what they did, and you'll give a realistic, true instance of when they did that same thing to you, and they will act like, oh no, but that was different. They'll make all the excuses in the world. This is a person that is trying to escape their own accountability for their actions when it's not in their favor. Yeah, they don't want to hear it at that point. They don't want to see your side. Again, if you are speaking logical to someone and you're making sense, beware of people when you're dealing with people that's like that. When you know you're making logical sense and they are not catching it or seeing it, those type of individuals are going to be a hassle down the line. And this is what many of you get caught up with in these situations with narcissists, is that one-sided type of entitlement that only allows them to see and experience things from their side, their angle, their perspective. Yeah. And that's one of the big things where, you'll encounter and run into feeling like you did something wrong, or that what you're wrong was greater than their wrong. That's the position they always try to keep you in. Even though it was just same thing, even Steven, they want to make it seem like, but your wrong was worse. And again, a lot of times, when you get to listening to their explanations of why, that's another big mistake. When you hear and see someone doing that, just tune them out and know what's going on. Know that they're trying to manipulate you into being the at-fault party, the guilty party, guilt tripping you. It's all manipulation, all based off their need to want to do what they want to do and not respect anyone else's boundaries. That's just the way it works with them. And if you find yourself caught up in a situation like that with these individuals entertaining that type of thing, you're going to be in a lose. It's not going to be a win-win. You're going to be in a losing situation. And the moment you step down, try to take the high ground and say, okay, maybe I did any type of agreement with them, and not standing your ground, not being willing to cut them off, you're putting yourself in, the kill zone. Because it's only going to get worse from there. Once they can convince you that you were wrong on something that you weren't, they're only going to get worse. So you just have to be mindful of that. Watch out for the entitlement. Watch out for the double standard type of things that individuals like that do. These are not It's not like a one-time type of thing with people who are like that. This is just how they are, and you're going to see a lot more of it later down the line. So to protect yourself, to be away from that, just remove yourself from the situation or disconnect, or, you know, only give so much of yourself to those type of individuals. Don't make any close connections or anything like that. All right. Anyway, hit the like button, share, subscribe, book a consultation. Click the link in the description box. Shoot me an email and I'll get you information on how to go about doing that. Till next time, have a good one.